Now I've been saving the best for the last. Time for some romance. A slice of Mumbai-based designer Nisha Jamwal's love life gets pieced into one of the stories of Jeffrey Archer's novel and thereby hangs a tale. Now who wouldn't be delighted?
I was really surprised to hear when my mother called me and said that Jeffrey Archer is writing a story about my life. I had no inkling that he's going to be writing about me. And what is even more interesting is that he chose to go with my real name and my husband's real name. I would never have imagined in 100 lifetimes that a friendship that started so serendipitously would turn out to be a miraculous journey which would chronicle a life that has been so full of happenstances.
Nisha's glowing complexion complements her dark, long eyelashes. She has all that it takes to be a Bollywood damsel, but instead she chose to make her love story a Bolly story, and that too by accident.
It was at a very beautiful dinner hosted by Ashok Advani, the publisher of Business India. I was supposed to meet Jeffrey Archer. He was sitting next to me and he spoke to me throughout the evening. He was very curious to know about me, who I am, where I've studied. And of course, as in with every woman, matters came to matters of the heart. And he discovered I'm married. At first he was very disappointed, in fun of course, all this in a light vein. And then later, he wanted to know more about, my marriage, and I think he went, because I'm a private person, he went and asked the host about me. And that's how he probably decided on writing this story, which I got to know much later at a lunch,
Cast Off is one of the stories in the novel that elaborates on the love saga. A Rajput boy falling in love with a Rajput girl at a traffic signal. While Jeffrey was working his penmanship magic, Nisha was kept in the dark until her birthday.
A day before my birthday, I heard from Jeffrey's publishers in India that he's releasing And Thereby Hangs a Tale with my story in it. And I said to them, may I go to the airport and pick Jeffrey up? And he handed me the book with happy birthday written on it. So I think it was one of the magical moments which is going to form a very special vignette in my life when he got off the plane and handed me And Thereby Hangs a Tale. It was the first copy of the book.
Jeffrey Archer has always been one of Nisha's biggest inspirations. She has written 2 books on arts and crafts. In fact, Archer has been in Nisha's life since her school days.
I read Cain and Abel, in fact, and I read it in my history book, ensconced, so that my mother comes to me in the night and says, oh, you're studying so late into the night. I'm really impressed. I wish you'd do this all the time.
Nisha's line of clothes, from India Phoenix to I Believe I Can Fly, is exclusive and vivacious just the way she is. She does make heads turn, including Jeffrey Archer's. Nisha is now all set to make a film out of her life, and no, it's not going to be the same story. While Jeffrey Archer penned Nisha's love life on paper, we here have filmed the beauty of a love story that belongs to Surya Kumar and Janani, who are celebrating their 25-year-long relationship.
After the marriage, my mom pursued her education and came up supporting the family when my father fell sick. So similarly, my wife also, after marriage, she got qualified for the teaching career and further studies and things like that, which really resembled my mother. When my company wasn't doing well, and she was the support pillar, like the finance, and I was also doing little bit of business, but the main support was from her.
This is our silver jubilee year, and I think the right compliment at the right time. I was just a graduate. My results even weren't out when I got married. I got my results only after I got engaged rather. And thereafter, he encouraged me to do I did a KG training, then I did my B.Ed, then I did my post-graduation, and then I got enrolled into MPhil. So that's where I really appreciate this man, because we did have ups and downs, in our 25 years. It was not always, luxury, and we grew up to this level. Actually, it was difficult, and he said, no problem, you can go ahead and study, we will manage. My daughter and my son both were like, in the formative ages of their, years of their age. So the entire, stint, I had his cooperation, and basically the feeling is like this, when the woman is away, trying to build her career throughout, and you don't get support from home, it's pretty difficult, so he never made me feel that my presence was there at home. Yes, I used to balance work and home very well, but not without his support. He never made me feel he has to mix a coffee for us, or he has to fix, serve dinner at least. He never made me feel that is my duty and I better do it. Never. Otherwise I would have never come so far. 86 we got married, and yes, I did start off with a lot of dreams. When I said yes, to getting into married to him, it was more of the looks. I was a youngster, like I was into a lot of Milton Boone reading, and the tall, dark, handsome hero with lot of compliments and all the nice sweet nothings they say. Okay, it's not all that we dream about always, but I never felt bad, because his love and his affection overruled everything. I used to be a little let down by the way he dressed, and he never bothered about whether his nails were manicured, or it wasn't like that, because like he's an automobile guy, and it's always grease and oil and things like that, and there was a frown once in a while on my forehead, but then I learned to live with it slowly, and then slowly I began to like it. And slowly I got to know that he was more of this automobile guy. There is nothing that he cannot fix. Believe me, I'm telling it to you on an open forum. You can tell him that there's something wrong here, there will be a solution. All his relatives also would vouch for that, and so he's calling that, he's called that Mr. Fix-It sort of a guy, so I was very proud actually of them, but I don't know anything about automobiles, or I know how a car looks. I get taken away by those lovely, the look of the cars, but otherwise I don't know anything about it. If there's something goes wrong, I can't. I'll just have to leave it somewhere on the road and come away. There are times where it doesn't match the conversation. Like, in spite of all these odds, we've managed it 25 years together, because there has to be something in common. And when he used to talk about parts and automobile, it never had any interest to me, but I used to encourage that, because I know how important it is, and he shines mostly because of that trait in him. But we dreamt together to have a well-knit family, and try to tap the talents of each family and to be recognized for the right reasons.
It's a coincidence probably, I think, like how my dad and my mom was. The same way we are also, like, we are in opposite direction, and still we really enjoy, because there are certain things she has to know from me, and there are certain things I have to know from her. So it really helps us a lot, and moving into a good direction.
Yeah, so rightly said, no, it's all, life is about giving and taking, learning what you don't have and imbibing, what is good in the other person.
The saying opposites attract is definitely true in certain instances, right? If you have a love story that you think would heat things up on the must register, just write in to feedback@ndtv-hindu.com. More of our metro, its people and the lifestyle here. Until next week.